おはようございます。皆さん、おはようございます。今日は新しいトピックを始めます。はい。So, today's new topic, darlings, is 生活、which are daily life. So, in terms of daily life, with this topic, we're going to be able to talk about what we do in our daily lives, what we don't do in our daily lives, what we want to do, what we don't want to do. So today we've just got a few verbs that we'll be looking at primarily, and then later I will give you like an extended verbs list so you can talk more about, like your personal life and what you do, okay? Rather than just basics, I suppose. はい。So 今日のトピックは生活です。生活。はい。じゃあ、起立。礼。よろしくお願いします。着席。はい。じゃあ、今日はね、before we start, darlings, we're going to just take a quick look at particles. So particles are kind of like English prepositions, but kind of not. So they're things like at or in or to or by and that type of thing, except not in Japanese, because that's pretty much all they are used for. Okay, so there's not a very long list of particles. There are some more particles than what I've got listed here, but today we are only going to be looking at these 4. So on the far left we have ni, written N-I. We have e, written in hiragana as H-E, but it's pronounced just an e sound, okay? So it's not he, but e. Then we have de, then we have o, which is written W-O, so the last character, W-O, but pronounced o. So in terms of these particles, ni means 2 things. They can either mean to, as in, you're giving to a person, you're going to the movies. So it's to, it's that kind of to. Right. So incidentally, ni is also to, so if you just remember it as to, then it'll always make sense. But it can also mean at. So for example, at 2 o'clock. Okay, but that's the only kind of at. It's a time at, like, and it can also be on. So like on Mondays at 2 o'clock, that type of thing. So that's what ni is. いいですか? E, written H-E, but pronounced just an E. Ne, e. E is just going to a place, always just to a place, okay? So it's got no other use. So welcome to New Zealand. Going to the park. いいですか? So that is what he is. That's what e is. De is at, like at the hotel, but not at 2 o'clock. Okay, so not that kind of at. So it's at only for places. So at the hotel, at the supermarket, at home. Okay, so that's that kind of at. So remember, ni is at as in time. So at 2 o'clock on Monday. That's what ni is. De is at a place, at the hotel, at the restaurant. Okay. It can also be with. So for example, I eat with chopsticks. I eat with a fork. I work with a pencil. Okay, I write with a pencil. Okay, so that is what de can be as well. So at, and at, yep, at. Oh my gosh, where's my brain? どこですか? So as I said, at, it can also be with, and it can also be by. So by car, by bus, by airplane. Okay? So that is what det is. Or is used with pretty much any other verb that does not take those other particles. Okay, so for example, you just eat sushi, right? So you're gonna have sushi o tabemasu. You just drink juice, right? But you need that o in Japanese, so it's gonna be juice o nomimasu, like we've looked at before. So in English, we don't really have the equivalent of o, but it has to be there in Japanese for pretty much everything else. If in doubt, and it doesn't need, time or placing, or if it's not a tool or something, it's going to be o. はい。So, 今日はね、this is our first piece of vocabulary ね。to go, to go んじゃなく、これは行きます。行きます。はい。So for example, ホテルに行きます。ホテルへ行きます。So you can use either to say you're going to somewhere ね。So 行きます is to go. にへ is to go to よね。So ニュージーランドに行きます。to go to New Zealand いいですか？はい。はい。それは来ます。来ます。に来ます。来ます is to come. ね、to come here. 次は、you should know this one ね。食べます。寿司を食べます。次は、はい、what is our verb for 飲みます？ Oops, what is our verb for to drink? はい、答えは飲みます。So something を飲みます。コーヒーを飲みます。次は、読みます。読みます。本を読みます。雑誌を読みます。新聞を読みます。ね。So to read something, 漫画を読みます。はい。次は、見ます。So something を見ます。例えば、for example, テレビを見ます。はい。to watch television. テレビを見ます。次は、します。サッカーをします。So you can have, usually with to do, it can be a form of play. So for example, サッカーをします. I play soccer. ビデオゲームをします. I play video games. But it can also be just a to do as well. いいですか？ So 洗濯 means laundry. So 洗濯をします is to do the laundry. Okay? So it can either be to do or to play. Because if you say karate o shimasu, you do not play karate in English, right? You do karate, right? So karate o shimasu. Judo o shimasu. Sumo o shimasu. ね。はい。次は聞きます。聞きます。はい。What is music in Japanese? We've covered this during when we were doing our timetable. And the correct answer is 音楽. So 音楽を聴きます. I listen to music. ね、音楽を聴きます to listen to music. Hi, and you can replace this with any band, you know. So for example, what's popular these days? I don't know. Taylor Swift を聴きます. I listen to Taylor Swift. Yeah. はい。 じゃあ次は we should know this one ね。It is 勉強します。勉強しますよね。to study something. いいんじゃなく次。これは起きます。起きます。はい。So with 起きますね、you need a day because you wake up somewhere. In fact, you probably don't even have to say, I wake up in my bed. Nobody says that. ね。What you're more likely to say is, I wake up at 7:10. Okay? いいんじゃなく、and remember if you are doing a time, you have to have a ni. So 7時10分に起きます。We haven't done times yet, so that's okay. Don't worry about it for now. But 起きます is, oh, that's the cat. 起きます is to wake up. 次は寝ます。はい。で、寝ます。まあね。So for example, ベッドで寝ます。I sleep in my bed or just 寝ます。In general, I sleep. ね。はい。次は、なんかな。次は、座ります。座ります。So 椅子で座ります。布団で座ります。カウチで座ります。So sit in a chair. いいんですか？ Sit next to a friend, etc. はい、so 座ります。Remember the there is in a place. Oh, my cat is just wrecking the place. So somewhere で座ります。So you sit somewhere ね。sit on the chair, sit on the stool, etc. はい。じゃあ次は立ちます。立ちます。はい。So 立ちます is to stand. はい。And to stand somewhere is で。はい。So 学校で立ちます。To stand at school. バス停で立ちます。To stand at the bus stop. いいんじゃなくはい。じゃあ、お願いします。Today, darlings, your task is to memorize these verbs. Now remember when you're memorizing these verbs, what other forms of verbs can we make? So for example, I've given you all these mas forms. What happens if we turn kikimas to kikimasen? Hi, so that's kikimas is to listen, kikimasen is don't listen. Ne? What about tai? Kiki tai desu. That's I want to listen. Ne? Kiki takunai desu, don't want to listen. So all of these with the masses, remember that you can take away mas, add masen to make a negative, and then you can add tai to make a I want to, and a takunai to make I don't want to. いいですか? So that is your job today, guys. That is your task today, is to go on to our Quizlet and practice these verbs. Make sure they're written down in your book. I should have stated that at the start of the video, but that's okay. You can go watch it again. じゃあ、ありがとう皆さん。またね。